Okay, so got to put the gloves on, so we'll start with that. Back a couple weeks since the last inspection. Hoping to get in here a little earlier than that, but weather's been a little bit of suck, so cool temps and such, rain. So here we are instead, later than I wanted. But flow was on during most of that time, or all that time except for cold obviously, but everybody's still flying good. The only one I'm a little worried about is both of them. The new package still doesn't have a ton of flyers in and out, and then the OG8 frame is a lot of dead bees on the front porch this morning, so I'm not sure what that's about. May have just been the cold we had. So this is the swarm. Not gonna do much here, just see if they've drawn out any of the extra super I put on last time. No point in doing much more than that. Well, they're not even up here, so they've been bringing out a ton of resources. They have not drawn this out at all. Which is strange because the other one was pretty full last time, so go ahead and pop this off and see what kind of, see if there's any issues below, but then I'll just put it back on, let them work. Well, they didn't like that at all, so get some smoke in there. Up here, but not many. Again, a ton of stuff. You stupid small hive beetle. Come here. Die. So definitely, small hive beetles seem to be fairly gnarly this year. Forget my wreck. I've actually seen them outside the hive, which is crazy. It's the first time I've seen them that active. So let's see. Let's get this out of the way so I don't spill it, because kill a bunch of bees. A frame or two at the edge. Man, that's heavy. Whoa. Mostly drawn out on that side and full on that side. That looks great, except for that stupid small hive beetle. Come here, you stupid piece of garbage. Get out of there. Where'd he go? Yeah, they're clearly bad this year. They're just breezing everywhere. But yeah, tons of resources there. We won't be here long. If they look good, then there's nothing I'm going to do except harm. So just want to maybe slide over and see if there's anything else. This is all resources and honey, so slide without tearing stuff. Bees mostly. Oh, there's a little bit of brood on that one. Actually, there's a lot of brood on that one. Ugh. Oh yeah, solid root pattern. Man. And just some holes, but that's just backfill. Same on the other side. That's just bird comb. Yeah, looking good. Next frame has a bunch of holes in the brood pattern, but I think that's just because they're backfilling. So, alright. Again, do no harm. So we're going to get out of here. Let them get back to working, because it's supposed to be a nice warm day after a couple cold days, so I imagine they're going to be just flying like crazy. Well, they already are. This is one that hits the sun first, so they got that advantage. So I'll stick all this back in. This one I may flip around just so they'll fill the other side with brood, maybe, or finish drawing it out. You know what? Bees are smarter than I am. They know what they need. I'll figure it out eventually. Alright, so we'll just put that super back on. Gotta think they're going to be into this other super soon, because this one's fairly full. But may just be another week or two before they start ripping. Alright girls, I'm getting out of your way. Just a free rest. hatched bees, hopefully. Alright, so that, I don't need to do anything in, they're not really up there yet, so head back together and onward and upward. Alright, so next is smoke. Camera. There we go. Waka waka. Alright. So, this one is the OG hive. Ooh, a lot of bees in here. A lot up top. We might be able to add a super. Drop 3 supers and a deep out just in case I really had to go crazy with adding. Put new wax on all of them, all the frames last night. Here's where I get excited and forget to smoke, but they're super chill, so. Alright. Let's take a peeky peek. Again, I'm trying to do as little as possible this time of year because I don't want to risk pissing them off. I don't have a bridge comb between the frames here, but other than that, they've drawn quite a few of these frames out. I put that, yeah, put it back. So we'll just give this top one a quick peek and kind of do the same thing. If it looks good below that, stay out of the way. Hopefully today's inspection will go fast. So, frame rest. Alright, this outside one doesn't appear to have much on it at all. No matter where I sit my tools, I lose them. Nothing on there. Actually place some of these frames that they have. Oh, suck. Drawn out. That could have sucked. Maybe replace some of these frames they haven't drawn out with the frames I just re-waxed because, I mean, why not? I think they're more likely to draw those out than not, maybe. Bird comb on the bottom for some reason on this. And they haven't done much to this one up here, at least on this side. Looks like on this side maybe quite a bit more action, but let's just see if we can scoot across. See, a little drawn out, but not much. And they really don't like my breath. I had garlic for lunch, so. Or no, yeah, having garlic. I don't know what I had. Had some garlic escapes earlier, so it's probably that. Again, more of this stupid scrape for the bird comb, but it's hardly worth. I hate when they do this because it just guarantees it's gonna. Stupid asses. I found the quickest way to clear them from a spot you don't want them at. Oof. Just to blow on them. They do not like that for whatever reason. And I don't think it's just because of my garlic breath. Alright. So they have not drawn this completely out, but drawn it, this box I put on last time, a good portion out, so, oh, a lot of bees on that one. Yeah, that one's mostly drawn, so it looks good. Dead bee in the middle, that's always weird to see. I'll let the caretakers take care of them. Big drone up, a couple big drones up here. Yeah, they're on them out, but not great. So I'm going to take, let's see, how many am I going to take? Oh, it's got nothing on it, basically. Shape them back into there. I mean, had a little, but almost nothing. Take 3 or 4 frames that I've gotten a good super over here, or that have been waxed up and draw them out, because there's no point in putting these back in here until I can get some wax on them. just re-wax, so hopefully that'll help draw them out. Just checkerboard those a little bit to see if I can get them to pull them a little more here. I don't see any brood or anything up here, so I'm not screwing that up. Wonky ass comb though, hate that. Yeah, that is just every frame has that stupid shit. Ugh. It's got a little honey in it, which isn't ideal to take. Oh, there we go. Frames are tight. I don't know why they're doing that, but they're definitely doing it. We'll leave the other side because it's in good shape. Stick with these fresh waxes in here. Get a little of that stupid shit. That's good on the other side, so we'll leave that one. I don't know why they're doing this so much as bridge comb. Leave that one. We got a couple more replacements. They're getting a little agitated, so it's about time for me to hurry this up. Just tighten these up. Maybe they were just looser than I felt they were. I don't know. Plastic ones bow a little bit, so it may be just the bow in the plastic that's causing that. Alright, let's get this moved over here. Let's move it over here out of the way, and then let's check this next. Get these shut off, Casers. Come on, get off. That far, I could have set it over here, but I did. And one more out here. Now we'll check the next box to make sure they're good, and then get out of here. And the next one, push this honey off. Smoke just to be safe. In a minute, so good volume of bees here. Doesn't always mean anything. I'll keep losing that stupid frame rest. All right. First step, get this trap off so I don't drown them accidentally. Alright. Not much drawing comb on there, but that's the outer ones. And oversupered level. Well, this one was actually okay. I don't think this one was much of an oversuper, but it definitely they haven't drawn as quickly as I thought they might. I'll take that. Hey, stop it. Other than the outer frames, it actually looks like good brood, good honey. Now that I'm looking in here. Yeah, that's a mishmash. I've never seen that where they do like almost half and half honey, half brood, but drone brood at the bottom. It's supposed to be a little bit more up top than I want to see, but see larvae in there, a ton of brood in there. A little bit more drones than I want to see, but that just maybe it's that time of year where you should see them. So probably hop out of here real quick. Let's check 1 or 2 more frames. kill 1 or 2 more bees. Yeah, that needs some backfilling, but alright, we'll get out of here, let them roll on. And this one was ripping yesterday, bringing in an insane amount of pollen. Like every other bee, maybe every bee nearly, was bringing in pollen, so they should be ripping. Alright, so let's get the other frame back in here, get the trap back in there, and be done. No need to add a super here because I still haven't really pulled out the one I added last time. Your bag, give it a break. Alright, take frame rest off, which I always forget. This one back on. He's wandering around, hopefully. Something's hanging out down here with the Amy. Oddly enough, none of those board bees that were on the inner cover really went anywhere. Move out of the way, dummy. Get away from the edge. So don't smush ya. No, don't just smush ya. There we go. No smushes. Maybe one smushy. Make sure I slid that forward. Alright, and with that, we'll call a wrap on the first two. Swap out batteries, move the GoPro. I'll be back to you after that. And trip over knock over the hive. So now we are back. We can switch battery because you're still 68%, but we're back to look at the new. That's crazy. What the hell? Pollen and almost mold in the top. That's fucking weird. Huh. This is the new package, so they've been slower to rip and roll than the others because, well, they're the newer package. 20 days of bitch to inspect because the smoke is not going to go where you want it to. But they've been, been flying good, just not ripping by any means. And they hadn't drawn out a ton last time I checked on them, so we'll see. Here, kill them. So it decreases my chances of killing them. Still might kill them because that's always a possibility. Let's see. Yeah, still nothing. I'm gonna have to try to put some feedback on these. They're not drawing out these frames as quickly. There's 2 frames completely undrawn. I pulled the feed off because they weren't really using it, but maybe I'll try one of the other feeders. I had the Burns feeder on this one, but they weren't taking it at all. I'll come back with the top feeder eventually. Pulling in resources there. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to feed the hell out of these girls. They're not pulling out very. It's only a month in, but it's a package. But oh, great brood pattern though. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Same on the other side. So yeah, they're doing fine. They're newbies. Let's check this next frame. Looks like we had some brood come out over here, so gotta be careful here. Queen might be on here. That gap. But definitely, all that is hatched and then they've gone again, so they're progressing just a little slower than everybody else because they were smaller than everybody else. It's just a drone. So yeah, I'll come back because I don't have it ready or the feed and throw a different top feeder on here later. So, all right, so we're done here. Kind of like quick inspections where it's like, yep, they're good, fine, get out of the way. So is that? I don't brood there, so well, I don't want to. Again, don't want to get too cute. They're fine. Still got this back in here. Be done. Like I said, I'll mix up some feed and put a top pot feeder back on here. That isn't the Burns because they didn't like that for some reason. I don't know why. They built brood comb over the number 8 and did not drink much of the stuff, so they Clearly weren't a fan of that one, but I'll try the BetterBee one because that one always seems to do well. I know, I'll get out here soon. Nothing else to do there. Come back. Remove this top cover. Actually, I'll put that top cover back on if I want to just have to remove it later. I am curious about this. I'm going to get a picture of this and send it to people's because I've never seen that. It's pollen that's molded, but like it's just weird that they've done that. Let me clean that off with something here. Yeah, that's just mold. Just a little too much moisture in there maybe when it condensed cool temps, I don't know. But it's go away. Yeah, it's just a little nasty. To take that pollen from them, but it's just going to mold up here anyway. So, and when I put the feeder back on next, it'll be inaccessible. So, inaccessible. Words are hard. All right. So moving on to the OG8 frame. All right. So this one I'm a little worried about because there's not a little bit. There's a decent amount of dead bees on the porch. Of course, that was right after a cold spell, so maybe just OG bees that were ready to go anyway in the cold. A little bit of cold when they did their last flight zapped them. I don't know. But we'll see here soon enough. This is the one that I oversupered last time, just because it was close and I didn't want to undersuper and risk the swarm. So this one did have some swarm cells last time. Or supersedure, but it was worth it. Go ahead and stick it on. Everything says over super this time of the year versus under, and I don't see anything up here really. So we'll pull this one pretty quickly. Yeah, there ain't jack in there, so we're still a little underwhelmed. We've drawn out like 6 or 7 of them though, so I mean it's time to put that on. Even if it wasn't last time, it's time now, so it'll be there soon enough. Let me pull 1 or 2 of these frames, make sure there's no brood on it. Then we'll just go ahead and go to the other boxes real quick. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna do the same thing on some of these that I did with the other ones. I'm gonna put wax in there, so I won't do that one. I'll take, if there's any frames that don't have wax, especially in that box I just pulled off, I'll just replace it with wax frames. There's some resources, drones. Oh, looks like we got brood up here too, which always stinks, but I need to get brood in the honey supers, but these were undrawn, so it's not surprising. So, yeah. And that's ridiculously good brood pattern, the same things up here. Oh. So, yeah, I'll probably just stay out of the other boxes, stick some frames back on here and move on. Do no harm. Get off my nail, please. Thank you. Alright, so that one, and maybe this one over here could use replacing. Yeah, there's jack on that one. See that one? There's nada on that one, so there's at least 3 frames we can replace. That one's got stuff on it, so let's go grab that real quick. These already have a little brood pattern on them anyway, because this is from last year, so stick that there, that there. Let's go do a little bit of checkerboarding. 1 frame of checkerboard or so. Squeeze those together. Alright, just come off. These out of the way so I don't accidentally reuse them. Still got a little bit of wax, so I can wax all these I'm pulling off. So, alright. put the traps back on and get out of here. Trap back on. Pulled one out of there too. Maybe not. I have a sheet up here. Go ahead and add one in. It is amazing how much they hate these stupid sheets. The last couple days I've found 2 of them at the bottom board of the other two of the other hives. So they do not like them. Which is stupid because it's for your benefit. Ah, get off. But they work. I mean, they always have hive beetles in them when I pull them out. Alright. So that's done. Put this back on here so they can keep on keeping on. Hopefully. I have an extra trap, yeah. Water in it too. So. Sitting there from last time, almost certainly. So that's okay, that'll work. Leave one out over here. Probably. No, almost certainly. Check. So I'm gonna grab that one instead. No, that's not close. Yeah, this one. Just do that, not worry about sheets or anything. So I need to clean some of these others out. Alright, so brood up in the second super. Okay, stop. Haven't drawn out the super much. That's okay. Because I was over supering last time. So, top back on. Close them up. Put the blocks on later. Alright, now we're going to move the camera a lot because I've got to inspect these. Waka. Yeah. Making myself dry. I can cut this out later. Or I won't. I'm going to just have to deal with it because these are mostly for my notes. Perfect-ish. These are the 2 swarms I caught. The little janky traps I built out of wood from an old coffee grinder machine crate. So recycle or use, as they say. In case I need it. So the only thing I'm going to do on these is really just see if they're ready to go to John's, because these are the 2 that will go to John's in Georgetown. Hieronymus House Wines. Go buy their stuff. It's really good. Just when I say mom and pop, I mean literally. Well, they're not kids, but it's a husband and wife team that raises their own grapes and makes their own wine, and it's really freaking good. So go buy it. Again, rate at which I set hive tools down and lose them is astounding. Like, where's the other hive tool? Probably in a hive, if I had to guess at this point. Alright, don't need frame rest or anything. So, oh, there it is. Alright, so, smoker. This will be the first time I've been in these since I put them out of the swarm caps into these nuke boxes. And the reason I put them in there is so I could feed them, because I can't really feed from the swarm traps I made, which is a design modification I'll make for next year. Again, not going to do much here. Just see how many frames they've drawn out after feeding them. They were chugging the syrup, because especially that one took a whole thing of syrup in like 3 or 4 days. Some squash bees under that, so that's not great. Put some small hive, or yeah, I say I put some small hive beetles. Put some of those in there just to see if I can get them to maybe try to start that. Man. So a little bit of drawn out, but not crazy amount. So yeah, they're barely on 3 frames, and they're probably not ready to move to John's yet. I gotta be careful here. I've got a queen. I don't want to make sure that doesn't change. Well, I think I've got a queen. I got to make sure that doesn't change. That's the other thing, is I just really want to find eggs at this point. Oh, there's larva. Yes. All right, we're done. Get out of here before I screw it up. It's not a, oh no, it's just wonky comb. And that one's kind of downward, but I think it's just wonky comb. But yeah, we got larva. I mean, it could be lane workers technically, but I see larva and maybe eggs. Can't see any of the cells well enough because I'm blind to see if larva everywhere. Could be. Here's where I just got to take a photo and go back later, because I get grandpa eyes. Should be able to see if there's eggs in there from the photo, hopefully. But we got larva, which is, I don't think we had last time, so I might go ahead and pull this resource frame, just look at it. There's no stupid things. So this is the one that, this is the, oh man. Okay, that's telling me something. Just leave it alone. That's the basically bait frame that was given to me by Honey and Bee Co. to get the swarm trap hopefully ramped up. So yeah, I don't think they've really eaten that yet, but they don't have a ton. They didn't have a ton of larvae to feed yet, so maybe they'll start doing it now. But we'll put the small hive beetle traps back in, because I did see small hive beetles literally flying in and out of one of these, so I'm gonna make sure I don't allow them to take over a small enough hive that they would probably take over pretty quickly. All right, we out. Here we go. Now, on to the back one. This is the one that came from Greg's house in the orchard. Greg's previous tenant had bees and they had swarmed into this tree, so I figured put a trap there. There's pheromones there. And I don't know if that was right or not, but we got a swarm. So, and I found the queen last time. I took a picture of her, so that was awesome. Just the first bit of bees I dropped from the swarm trap into here, she was there, which was awesome. There's nothing drawn out there. They are drawing out everything new, because what little they'd drawn out on those mediums I took from them, yeah, they've barely drawn. I mean, they're chugging that feed up, but they've barely drawn out a frame, basically one side of each 2 frames, so no need to bug them. They're not ready to go anywhere. My only worry is that they might not be ready till the dirt's over, which just kind of sucks, because then I'll have to feed them over there, but that's okay. It's beekeeping, not bee having. You stupid little small hive beetle. So put the trap back in there, put it closer to the middle maybe, because I see the needles right in there. Ooh, don't do that. Stupid things. They always want to fall farther than you want them to, and at a bigger gap. The gap that these have are bigger than the gap between frames inevitably. I'll just put it over here, because I'm worried about screwing with her over there. Again, seem to be good. Drawing out comb. I'm not gonna worry about trying to find her. I mean, they spent basically a week drawing out comb and chug-a-lugging this feed like crazy. So, and it was cold during some of that time, so they'd have been chugging the feed for feed and not drawing out comb. So, yeah, that's it. All done. Put the feed back on. Go get the other feed for the package, and inspection's done. All right, we're back briefly just to add a feeder on, so I'm going to be stupid and not wear any gear, but this is the new hive that doesn't have a metric shit ton of bees, so here we go. Unless they get me while I'm pouring the stuff in, we should be good, which is entirely possible. So just want to record this so I'd have it, make sure that put it in my notes later. Hopefully they'll take this feeder. They just really didn't like the Burns just jar feeder. I don't know why. They propolised over the, or not propolised, but they waxed over the most of the entrance to it. So asked for. Background noise. 2 dogs barking, 3 dogs barking. Hey, hey. 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 There's some sort of party going on at the Airbnb. Hey, stop. Oh. Hey. Man. Also, the neighbor back behind us has ducks, and Roubaix likes to bark at things. And there's Myrtle, I think. Poodle. Alright, girls, you've got to get out of there because I can't put you in. There you go. Oof. Nearly dropped it. Square. Alright, I'm done.